أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Madam Chair, Commissioners, Lead Counsel, viewers and listeners, members of the press, good morning. Welcome back once again to our daily proceedings of this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters. For our next item on our today's agenda, I have the honor to yield the floor to Madam Chair. Madam Chair, over to you.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I will call on Honorable Sila to lead us in Muslim prayers and Honorable Joyner to lead us in Christian prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Rahmanir rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناظر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقدار عظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty God, we want to thank you for your graciousness. We are grateful for giving us another opportunity to celebrate in your tabernacle. Be magnified in our lives. We have no one but you to lean on. But you alone are the one that we can lean upon. We avail ourselves to be used as vessels in your vineyard. Guard and guide and defend us from all plans of the enemy. Build hedges of protection around us this month and years to come. Let our detractors be confounded and put to shame. We put our trust in you and know that as we journey on, our lives will be transformed for the greater glory of your name, now and forevermore. Amen.
Madam Chair, I now see I am no longer needed in the prayers. The main pastor is in.
No, the police officers send them up because so the thing is, if it were rats, sometimes.
Good morning, Mr. Witness. Witness, welcome back. You may kindly take your seat.
Morning.
So, Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters, may I remind you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I hand over the witness to you for us to proceed.
Mr. Jonga, good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Have you had your breakfast?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Council, can we proceed?
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Mr. Jonga, how are you?
Fine, sir.
I believe you were asked to bring some documents today.
Yes, sir.
Do you have them?
Yes, I have some of the documents that I was requested to bring.
Okay. Let us see the ones you have. And the ones you don't have, probably we can have another date that you can bring them.
I brought the original offer of appointment and promotion as CEO, and also the confirmation in appointment as CEO.
Okay, let's start. Number one, you have the
original copy of the appointment letter,
yes.
offer of appointment and promotion as CEO,
Okay.
and I have the confirmation in appointment.
Yes.
I have a copy of the asset register.
For is it the up-to-date one as at the time you were there?
Yes, sir.
Please proceed.
I have copies of the memo
Memo.
on internal controls and administrative measures.
Memo on internal control.
Internal controls and measures 2021, and also internal controls and administrative measures 2020.
2020 and 2021.
Yes, sir.
Right?
I have copies of the final report of the investigation in Fonyi that was conducted by the Directorate of Internal Audit,
All right.
Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs.
The final report of the Fonyi investigation.
Yes.
Please proceed.
Yes. I also have a copy of the revenue audit conducted by the internal audit unit of Brikama Area Council.
For which period?
2021.
Please proceed.
I have a copy of the achievements and challenges for Brikama Area Council for the period 2019 to 2023.
Yes. Do you have the updated version of the establishment register?
The establishment register was submitted to the Secretariat, and I was searching for some records, and I was told that it must be with the investigators. Okay. So I want to appeal that I'll be given more time to search for the establishment register.
Yes. We will give you a time frame wherein we will ask that the commissioners allow you to have a time frame wherein you will liaise with the investigators and the financial unit so as to cite for the necessary some of the documents.
Yes, sir.
And also the vouchers that we have discussed earlier.
Yes. I also have a copy of the procurement plan for 2021. I
approved?
I missed the dates with the procurement plan for 2020. It was not 2020, it is 2021.
Okay, so the one for 2021 was the approved one?
Yes.
But 2020, we don't have an approved one?
We do not have an approved plan.
That's fair enough.
Yes. So these are the copies that I have. This morning, because yesterday when I got the instruction to look for the vouchers, that is the bank and the salary settle, it was already close to 4 o'clock or after 4 o'clock. So this morning I was able to got some documents, but they're still with the office. These are for December 2021, August 2021, and December 2019, January 2022, and November 2019, May 2022, August 2020, June 2022, March 2022, March 2021, August 2022, July 2021, and October 2021. So I'll need more time to continue with the search for the rest of the outstanding documents, the vouchers.
Very well.
Yes.
Very well. Let me please have the ones you've brought so that we can apply to have them admitted in evidence, and then we can proceed with the rest. Madam Chairperson, we apply to tender the following exhibits. Number one, the confirmation of appointment, conversion in appointment as it is written, addressed to Mr. Modou Jonga, the witness, Chief Executive, for the position of Chief Executive Officer for Brikama Area Council, with the date 29th of June 2020, signed by Ahmad C. for the Permanent Secretary. It's the original. The photocopy had been admitted yesterday. And it is also the offer of appointment and promotion to the position of CEO, dated the 30th of October 2019, addressed to Modou Jonga, the witness, for Brikama Area Council. This is also signed by Fatou Jiba, for the permanent secretary. It is the original of the photocopy that was admitted yesterday. We have the Brikama Area Council Asset Register. Jonga, the date is 2022?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Is the updated version covering the period of employment as CEO of the witness. We have a memo with the subject internal control and measures 2021 from the Chief Executive Officer. The date is 28th of October 2021. Addressed to all departments and unit heads. It's a photocopy. We have subject and implementation of internal control and administrative measures memo dated the 14th of January 2020, addressed to all departments and unit heads from the Chief Executive Officer. Sorry, the date is 13th of January 2020. And we have priorities, achievements and challenges for period 2019 to 2023 report for Brikama Area Council. Jonga, you did not sign this report?
What?
But you didn't sign this report?
Which report?
The priorities, achievements and challenges for the period 2019 to 2023.
Yes, I did not sign it. It was a PowerPoint presentation that was presented to the National Assembly Select Committee during a visit to local councils.
Councils.
Yeah.
We have the Brikama Area Council final report 2021 on license collection. It's an internal audit report dated the 25th of February 2022. Mr. Barry, is it possible to have, because this is a photocopy, Mr. Jonga, sorry, to have Mr. Barry to sign this document?
Okay. Was this report not submitted by Mr. Barry earlier?
I don't think so. Not the license collection. We can confirm that, but I don't think so. We will ask the registrar about that.
Okay.
Yes, this was not submitted.
Okay, sir.
I'm advised by the registrar that this was not submitted. So
Okay,
if you can kindly have it authenticated, it will be helpful.
I'll check with records for the original copy.
Yeah, so in the meantime, I will just show the commissioners. We have the final report on the review of the suspected fraud at Brikama Area Council, dated the 30th of December 2021. Also have the suspected revenue fraud at Brikama Area Council, dated the 30th of December 2021. Please, you will be given these documents so that you can see whether it is complete for you to have it attached together. I believe these are the annex to the report. Madam Chair, we also have the procurement plan with the heading submission of 2021 procurement plan to the Managing Director, Gambia Public Procurement Authority, dated the 15th of January 2021.
So you already have this, one. It's not properly stable, that's why it has removed. These are excess copies. That's it, yeah. These are excess copies. Yeah, they are excess, yeah.
Lastly, Madam Chairperson, we have the suspected revenue and fraud at Brikama Area Council report dated the 30th of December 2021. All these documents we apply to have intended and admitted into evidence as an exhibit.
2021. Sorry, 2020. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, yes, please.
Mr. Jonga?
Yes, ma.
Yes, the asset register you have presented to us is just for 2022? Is the updated?
Yes, it's the one that was prepared in 2022.
Okay.
That was completed in 2022.
All right.
Yes.
Now, there is no cover note, there is no signature to indicate that, it's the authentic asset register as we speak.
Yes.
Because you have to have it signed, stamped, to indicate that this is what you have in your official files. But
Right.
this one doesn't have a cover note, doesn't have any stamp or signature to indicate that, you understand?
Yes.
As we speak, this is the original, this is the copy that you have, this is the document that you have as being your register, asset register.
Yes, I agree. It should be accompanied with a cover letter.
Yes.
And the one that I submitted to the investigators has a cover letter.
Cover letter.
Yes.
Then, can we have this authenticated?
Yes, ma.
Yes. We could give you this to authenticate, and when we come back after lunch break, we can admit it. I
Okay.
think it's most appropriate.
Do you need my signature on the?
Yes, if we can have a cover letter on this, signed by you, so we would know this is what you have. Because if it is not reviewed in 2023, we will know that this is what you have over the years up to 2022.
Okay, I'll check with the investigators for a copy.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
you.
And you also gave the council the priorities, achievements, and challenges for covering the period 2019 to 2023. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. What we will want is, this is a summation in a PowerPoint presentation format.
Yes.
We would want a detailed, because I believe you extracted this from detailed report that you must have prepared.
From the activity reports. And,
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So can we have that?
Yes. Like I stated earlier, I have started the search for the activity reports. So, but I'm told that it's with the investigators. But I am referred to the secretariat. So I will check with them during break and make this available.
Yes, but this. What I'm saying is that you had a general report, and it is from that general report that you were able to do a summation, to be able to do a PowerPoint presentation.
Yes.
So that is the report I'm talking about.
Yes, they are
not the individual activity reports, because you must have taken all this from different.
These are derived from the annual activity reports
Oh, okay.
of council over a period.
All right.
Yes.
So you do not have one general report that you have put together?
No, because it's a PowerPoint, so therefore it's been summarized, but the source is the activity reports.
All right. And there is also the final report on the license collection, which we don't have presented to us by the auditor.
Yes.
We will request, I think, yes, the council has asked that it be authenticated, right?
Yes.
Thank you. This one also. So we will take this. Mr. Jonga, I want clarification on the procurement plan. The letter dated the 15th of January 2021 is for the submission of procurement plan 2021. But attached in that plan, you have a letter which is a response to the procurement plan for 2022. Do you have a procurement plan for 2022?
Yes, we have.
You have?
Yes.
And is that what is attached here? The 2-page? Please take a look and guide us.
Yes.
Did you see what I am telling you at the back pages?
Yes, I'm cross-checking the details that I have there. Yes, those are the attachments.
It is both the 2021 and 2022 procurement plans that you have.
I have attached, yes.
That you have attached.
Yes, with the responses from GPPA.
All right. Yes. So what you attach on the response, that is what is for the 2022 plan?
Yes.
Thank you. The following documents presented by the witness are admitted as follows. A letter dated the 14th of January 2020, which is, sorry, let me take that again. Actually, it's a memorandum. A memorandum from the Chief Executive Officer dated the 14th of February 2020 to all departments and unit heads with the caption Implementation of Internal Control and Administrative Measures. The memo is copied to the Chairman, Brikama Area Council, Director of Finance, Acting Director of Administration, Principal Internal Auditor. A memo dated the 27th of October 2021, and the memo is from the Chief Executive Officer to all departments and unit heads, and the subject is Internal Control and Measures 2021. It is copied to the Chairman, Director of Finance, Acting Director of Administration, Principal Internal Auditor. A letter dated the 15th of January 2021 with reference BAC/077/A addressed to the Managing Director, Gambia Public Procurement Authority, 9 Caraba Avenue, and the caption is Submission of 2021 Procurement Plan. This attached to this letter is the procurement plan for Brikama Area Council. Further attached to this document is a letter dated the 8th of February 2022 with reference GPPA/BAC/APP/43/SB in brackets. This letter is from the Gambia Public Procurement Authority, and it is addressed to the Chief Executive Officer, Brikama Area Council, and the caption reads, Response to Annual Procurement Plan for the year 2022. And attached to this letter is the plan from Brikama Area Council as their procurement plan for the year 2022. A letter dated the 30th of December 2021 from the Directorate of Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, and it bears the reference JD 10/21/01 part 13 in brackets 14, and the letter is addressed to the Chief Executive Officer of Brikama Area Council with the caption Suspected Revenue Fraud at Brikama Area Council. The letter is signed by Mr. Modou, Director General, and copied to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Chairperson, Local Government Service Commission. And a report is attached thereto. These documents are all admitted in a bundle as an exhibit in evidence and are marked as LGC/MJ in brackets C/BKAC/002.
As the Commission places. Now, for the remaining documents we have requested, you said you need more time.
Yes, sir.
For instance, the approved budgets between or in the period that you have served, between 2019 to 2022 or 3, correct?
Yes, I took note of that request as well.
So, when do you think you can have this available?
During break, I will make the search to get these copies from the Secretariat.
All right. We can give you also more time. You can request for that if you need any. Now, we were discussing yesterday regarding some of the actions that you took while you were CEO.
Yes, sir.
In relation to the internal audit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So for 2020.
Yes,
so probably we just proceed with that.
Okay.
Before we go to other issues or administrative issues.
Okay. Thank you. With the permission of the chairperson, I would like to request for a moment to make few clarifications on the issues that we have discussed yesterday. As per the internal audit report, and I would also like to ask for an opportunity whenever I am done with my testimony to deliver a statement before the commission as well.
Yes, Mr. Jonga, you will be given an opportunity when we finish looking at some of the activity areas,
yes.
And you may take note of anything that you want to clarify, and we will give you time to make clarification. And also for all the questions that you have been asked, if you need time to clarify, you understand, the issues, and or if you are not certain, we will give you time to cross-check and confer with your office so that you can have clarity in your response to the questions that are put to you.
Yes, thank you.
Right.
So precisely, I am saying there were issues that we discussed yesterday.
Yes.
And I needed clarity, not only for my sake as a person, but for the office of the CEO, both for the future CEOs and also, the present CEOs.
Yes, we will give you time to do that.
Okay,
yes.
all right, thank you.
Council, you may proceed.
Yes, so please go ahead with respect to that, because since what you were saying is in relation to
the system audit.
You are talking about some of the things that we have discussed yesterday.
Yes, on the system audit.
Which you want to clarify. Madam Chair, what he is referring to, in addition to the to other issues, is that he wants to clarify some of the issues that he gave evidence on yesterday, correct?
Yes,
if I get you right.
Yes, on the system audit, and also on my function as a CEO with regards to the failure on the part of the CEO to notify the internal auditor to prepare quarterly audit reports.
Okay, you may refer us to the system audit and direct to the point where you needed to make specific clarification for.
Good, thank you. We go to the issue on the personnel whose salary were not signed, which amounts to 32,922.82 buttons.
That's on page 17 of the system audit for 2020 internal audit, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that they will be guided accordingly. Yes?
Sorry. I have it on a different page and the observation on the findings is that the auditor cannot ascertain if the salaries were taken or not.
Yes.
And my position will be gathering a third-party evidence will give that confirmation whether salaries were taken or were not, because these are employees. If the internal auditor has engaged them, they would have confirmed to him whether they have indeed actually received their salaries or they have not received their salaries. So the position to say the CEO bears an overall responsibility for the salaries not being signed is something that I have an issue with. And then this I want to clarify, because the initial findings is that it is believed that these salaries are received by the personnel, but they have not been signed.
Yes.
And if you move into the recommendations, it's clearly implying or urging the paying out cashier to ensure that particular attention is given when paying salaries to the employees.
Okay.
So a third-party evidence would at least provide me with the clear assurance that this is taken or is not taken.
Okay. So if I get you right, what you are saying is the internal auditor would have gone further to get the evidence of these individuals, the people that were supposed to sign, to see whether they have received the payments or not.
Yes, sir.
And if that was done, then that would probably have put this issue to rest.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That is true on the side of the internal auditor. Probably that could have been done, and I will agree with that. But where you come in as CEO, where do you think you come in as CEO?
Like we discussed yesterday.
Yes.
Because I signed final
Yes.
before payments.
Yes.
And then like you've informed me, once payment is completed, it should be stamped paid.
Yes.
and then filed accordingly.
Yes.
Which is the responsibility of of course, the accounting staffs.
And subsequently, your ultimate responsibility as
Yes,
CEO.
yes, exactly.
As the chief accounting officer of the area council.
Yes. So these issues are detected during a post audit.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a post audit.
Yes.
Now, were you given a copy before? When the audit was done, were you availed a copy?
Of the audit reports?
Yes.
Yes. We had a discussion, and then clearly, I speak my mind that, I think these salaries are believed to be received, but they are not signed. So the attention was that there should be a strong recommendation for the cashier to ensure that whenever he pays salaries, people sign for their salaries, and those who are authorized, produce authorization letters before receiving one salary.
Did you respond to this audit report with respect to the management response?
With respect to this particular issue?
For every audit finding, you will have an opportunity to respond to it.
Yes, of course we did. You could see our response. But actually,
go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you could see our response, and then actually you could have an exit engagement with the management.
Yes.
And you share with management the findings.
Yes.
Of the audit exercise.
Yes.
And at that point, the management will have the opportunity to provide feedbacks on some of the issues that they think, are kind of not substantial.
Yes.
And then the auditor will make the final decision to say, well, we do not want this to remain as a query. Yes. So with the information that we have from the management is sufficient. So they will decide to have that out from the final report.
Now, what was your response as management, especially the head of management? What was your response?
The response here is that the observation will be verified.
Yes.
And appropriate action will be taken. And then the officer responsible for remedial action was the Director of Finance.
Yes.
Yes.
Ultimately, I've always maintained, your responsibility as CEO, as a chief accounting officer. Every other person works under you and is supervised by the chief executive officer. I mean, this is the office. This has nothing to do with Mr. Jonga. It's the nature of the office of the CEO, that every other person's responsibility ultimately becomes your grand responsibility. Is that not the case?
Yes, very well. I understand.
Do you understand it that way?
Yes, I understand it that way.
That is why these relevant laws would mention you as the chief accounting officer.
Yes,
the chief accounting officer, and it will tell you in these laws that whatever they are responsible for, you are ultimately responsible for.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
Now, when you said in your management response that the observations will be verified and appropriate actions will be taken, what did you mean by this?
We'll verify actually whether these salaries are not received by the employees.
Now, did you do that?
Yes, and before even we have this as a management response, we received this draft. Of course, we had to make consultations.
Yes.
And we were able to find out that, particular attention was not being paid to the fact that people need to sign when they are receiving their salaries.
Yes.
And that's why you have this instance.
Yeah, but Mr. Jonga, did you really verify these payments and take appropriate action? I understand what you are saying.
Yeah.
The idea that you believe probably there were just one or two procedural errors as far as you're concerned, but you genuinely believe they have received these payments.
Yes.
So therefore probably it may not be of concern because you genuinely believe they have received their payments, but there is a gap in the procedure in relation to the vouchers. That's what you believe.
Yeah, correct. That's what I believe, and that's what we have confirmed.
Yes.
And then if they have not received this salary for this month, we would have seen a claim for the payment of their salaries for this month.
Not necessarily. The issue is we don't even know whether even these payments are genuine or not. You see, the issue regarding procedure is to make sure you tick all the boxes. You want to know whether the payments are genuine or not. So, for instance, if I do not know that I am entitled to be paid $10,000 and I have not received $10,000, the reason of a voucher to pay me $10,000 does not really mean that I'm aware that I have to be paid that amount.
Yeah,
do you understand the analogy?
Yes, I understand. I'm just trying to point out the fact that at least the auditors would have gone up an extra mile to...
And I agree with you on that.
Yes.
Now your role as CEO, Mr. Jonga, you have the oversight function. You were presented with an audit finding, and even assuming there were lapses that the auditor could have improved on, which he testified, and we took him on several issues. But we focus now on your role as the CEO. You did not verify officially, and you did not address this issue with respect to the $32,922.82 in relation to the information you had from the internal auditor. You did not do that.
Yeah, the verification was not official.
Was not done.
It was done, but it was not official.
So my problem with that statement is, should it have been official or not?
It should have been official.
So if it is not official, can you convince anyone that it was done?
No, absolutely, you cannot convince anyone. But it goes back to my concern about having a third-party evidence to put this matter to rest.
Were you in a position to have the third-party evidence yourself as CEO?
You expect the internal auditor to...
Now I agree with whatever you have said about the internal auditor.
Yes.
Now we are now moving to your responsibility.
Yes.
Were you in a position to have third-party evidence?
Yes, I did, but like I said, I admitted that this was not formalized.
So you admitted that as far as official transactions are concerned, that was not done.
Yes.
And so we don't have this issue solved by you, Mr. Jonga, as CEO in your capacity.
Yes.
CEO. And so now, what do we do, or what do we say about this $32,922.82?
I think the third-party evidence is key in this.
No, but you are here as a CEO.
Yes, but like I said, I can confirm that they did receive their salaries. They have not just signed.
We now want the confirmation.
Yes, but like I said, the evidence is not there. There's no official.
We don't have the evidence.
Yes, we don't.
So if we don't have the evidence, but payments are primarily your responsibility, we don't have the evidence as CEO, and one of your key functions is to account for the finances of council.
That's correct.
Would that be your affiliate on your side?
Yes.
Good. Now we move on to other issues.
Yeah, the other issues.
Yes.
The other issues is with regards to the failure on the part of the CEO to inform or instruct the internal auditor to prepare quarterly reports for the year 2021. Yesterday you read the manual where it says the internal auditor submit reports to the chairperson.
Yes.
And also copies these reports to the CEO.
Yes.
That section, in my understanding, do not denote that the CEO has a responsibility to instruct the internal auditor to submit quarterly audit reports.
Okay.
As a practitioner,
yes,
and of course as best practice,
yes,
the internal auditor is functionally and professionally answerable to the council.
Yes.
Administratively, he is answerable to the chief executive officer.
Okay.
And this we have issues with Mr. Barry, that I am not answerable administratively to the chief executive officer.
Yes.
And now the authority to whom you are answerable to functionally and professionally has the discretion to instruct you to execute your functions.
Absolutely.
Not the CEOs. So in this instance, I think it is the responsibility of the chairperson to instruct the internal auditor to produce quarterly reports.
Yes. Now I agree with that. Yes. I think probably you didn't get me yesterday. I did not say the internal auditor is independent.
Yes.
Both from the chairperson and the CEO. Answerable here does not mean that you have to give directives to the internal auditor. God forbid that both you and this chairperson would give directives to the internal auditor. Well, we have experts here on that. But the idea of the independence of the internal auditor is to have the clear checks and balances. Is that not the case?
Yes.
But then you have mentioned that, and the law has said clearly that the internal auditor is answerable to both the chairperson and the CEO. That doesn't mean there should be interference in the work of the internal auditor. Yes. But the idea that the work must be done, each department must function, is key. So for instance, if you are concerned with the finances of council and you have a voucher that's presented to you, the first thing you will do is to request that it be passed to the internal auditor. Is that not the case?
Yes.
You will not say that because the internal auditor did not do his job, so let me just do my job and that's it. Correct?
No, and that's not the essence of why I'm raising these things.
Yes.
But it's good that we are on the same page on this.
Yes.
And because functionally and professionally, like I said, he
Yes.
reports to the chairperson
Yes.
and the council.
Yes.
So because this is, it's important that we clarify this
Yes.
for the current CEOs and future CEOs, so that we'll not repeat the same mistakes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so that's the point. So there is still this supervision from the CEO. The idea that you have to ensure every payment passed through internal audit is your responsibility.
Yes, and that is a procedure.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Yes.
And the other responsibility is, if you do not see a report, you can ask the internal auditor whether there is a report for the internal checks.
Absolutely.
Yes. That was what I was saying, that was not done.
All right.
And that you agreed with yesterday.
Yes, it's good that we will clarify this point.
Yes.
But like I said, not for my own sake, but for
Exactly, that was not done.
my colleagues, yes.
So we will just visit the internal auditor's responsibilities as per the financial manual, if you have it. Just please.
Page 14, 209.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Oh, I don't have 14, that's why I'm struggling. I have page 14. It will tell you that the internal auditor is the head of the internal audit department. He shall be responsible to ensure that the procedures stipulated in the manual will, with respect to all transactions involved, revenue collections and expenditure and receipt and issues of stores and are properly authorized, promptly carried out, and punctually recorded, and to make a continuous and thorough check on council's financial transactions. Is that not the case?
Yes.
The internal auditor is directly responsible and answerable to the council and should be provided as service to the management in the effective discharge of its financial duties. The internal auditor is in the discharge of his duties must be independent. We discussed that.
Yes, very well.
So the issue of answerability has nothing to do with the independence of the internal auditor, which means neither you nor the chairman, we agree on that, can influence the internal auditor.
Yeah, we agree on that, and
Yes.
it's important that we raise this issue
Yes.
for the records.
Yes, so continuing, he shall submit all his reports to the council through the local government accounts committee with copies to the CEO.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Again, the responsibility of the CEO is to make sure all these departments are functioning. So you can't force internal auditor to conduct internal audit, but you can request for copies, if any, to make sure your accounts are being properly audited.
Yes, I agree.
Again, Mr. Jonga, is that not in fact the good practice where you have transparency? You ensure that you want to know exactly what your departments are doing. You want to know each department what they are doing. So for you to put pressure on the auditor to do his job as mandated by law, that he's answerable to you in that category, is good for you as CEO.
Absolutely. I appreciate the work that the internal audit has done.
Yes.
You know, and they need to do a lot
Yes.
more to improve the compliance.
Yes. The issue is that you were just not requesting for it. Correct?
No, the issue is that the head of the unit has not executed his function.
Well, agreed, and you did not request as well.
Yes.
Perfect.
But I am telling you, as CEO, I think the request should be from the head of the council.
Mr.
Now we
Jonga,
move-
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Jonga, I think perhaps people have different understanding and appreciation of what the law is saying. But if you really look at the bolded section under section 208, it says the internal auditor is responsible to council, and the operating word here is "and." If you look at it, they are all underlined to specifically show you what the role of the internal auditor is. His responsibility is to council, and in addition to that responsibility, he has responsibility to management, which you are head of management. Is that not correct?
Yes.
Because if you look at the statement, it says the internal auditor is directly responsible and answerable to council, and I emphasize the word, and should provide a service to the management in the effective discharge of its financial duties. So it doesn't in any case exonerate you from making sure that he lives up to expectation, in as much as, in quotes, he must be independent. He must be independent in the sense that he looks at the documentation, he looks at the processes and tells you, this is what the current status or situation is. Like, for instance, what you wanted to clarify earlier on, when you said, when the council asked you about what you did with respect to responding to that. This is where it comes in. Because wherein he has done, if he had done his job, and you have gone to a management meeting and then you have clarified this issue, you would have requested to see the vouchers, you understand, or what remedial measures did he take to correct that third party thing that you are saying, for us to have consulted or dealt with to ascertain whether this money is outstanding or not. But that is not the case here, because there is no evidence before us. You understand?
Yes.
So I just want to make it clear that in the financial manual, in as much as he is responsible to council, he is also responsible to management, because he is supposed to provide, under the law, service to the management in the effective discharge of your functions, of your financial duties, because you are the person who is the chief accounting officer.
Yes.
That is my understanding.
Yes, and that is also my understanding as well.
Thank you. Council, you may
Thank you.
proceed.
Yes, we're on the same page. Please proceed with your order.
Yeah, the other one, we talked about the frequency of general council meetings.
Yes.
And then there was this period in June, from June 2020. It was a moment when the former chairman, Jonga, was expelled from the party under whose ticket that he was elected into office. And as a result, majority of the councillors, are from that party, and therefore they have not been attending meetings. So the meetings were not regular because this matter was ongoing. He was expelled together with 2 other councillors. So this also has effects on the number of meetings that were held during the period, and it's important that I raise this matter.
They were not coming to meetings for how long? Do you know the period?
I know the case took over 1 year, but I cannot confirm how long it has affected the proceedings of the General Council.
Is it 1 year or thereabout?
It should be close to that.
Close to a year,
yes.
Without General Council meetings?
Yes.
And this is in 2020?
This is in 2020 to probably maybe 2021. I can confirm exactly.
Please.
The period.
Please confirm the period regarding the time that the council was not having the general meetings.
Yes.
Is there any other issue?
Yeah, it's done now.
Thank you.
Thank you
very
so
much for that engagement. Now, we have an issue on page 21 of the report regarding an amount of $24,000, which cannot be accounted for, which was incurred from the sales of bidding documents to bidders. And it says, in our review of the contract committee meeting minutes dated Tuesday, 10th of November 2020, it was noted that an amount of $60,000 was made from the sales of bidding documents to bidders. Now, I'm reading verbatim, in which $36,000 was paid to GPPA, and the balance of $24,000 was unknown whether it was banked or not. The audit team asked for the deposit slip if the amount was banked, but cannot have any tangible response from the management and the responsible parties. Now, you have responded. So, what do you have to say about this issue?
Yes, it's a clear example of the danger of making direct payments from collections, because these are payments from the sale of bidding documents.
Yes.
And the 60% has already been paid to the authority.
Yes.
What is outstanding is the 24,000. And when we have a discussion over this
Yes.
at the level of the senior management and during a retreat that we held in February 2022,
Yes.
documents could not be produced to ascertain. The conclusion was that the amount was used for refreshment during the bid opening and also the pre-site visits and also site visits.
Yes.
But as the CEO, there was not enough justification. What should have happened is that the amount collected as proceeds from the sale of the bidding document should have been deposited.
Yes. So now the question is, you're right. Yes. Now the question is, what was done? As CEO, what did you do?
Yeah, the conclusion we had at the retreat was that these vouchers need to be produced,
okay,
and provided to the internal audit,
yes,
for confirmation.
Was it done?
And this was not was not done.
Was that a failure on your side as well?
Yeah, overall failure on my side.
Primarily as CEO, is that your failure?
No, not primarily.
You were doing very well with respect to where you genuinely think there were shortcomings, but maybe we want to understand what your primary functions are. It says on page 8, you are that the Chief Executive Officer shall be appointed by the Local Government Service Commission and as the Accounting Officer of Council. How do you understand this, your role as the Chief Accounting Officer?
Yeah, responsible for expenditures and income.
Now, if you're responsible for expenditure and income, and you have an issue like this, what degree is your responsibility?
You have heads of departments.
You are the chief.
Yes, but then the chief cannot be on top of every single.
You have to be on top of everything.
No, what I mean is that you have there are those who have direct responsibility.
I agree.
To do with the accounting aspects.
Yes.
To do with the collections.
Yes.
To do with the expenditure.
Yes.
It's true I have a degree of responsibility.
No,
but
not only a degree, let's not minimize it. Not only a degree of responsibility. In fact, as every payment must pass through you. Is that not the case? Every expenditure has to pass through you. Must. Is there any type of payment or expenditure that cannot pass through you or may not pass through your office?
No. All payments pass through my office.
Yes, even the dalasi.
Yes, so
you must be aware.
Yeah.
Where monies are expended without you being aware, or it cannot be accounted for, and you should really be aware, and you should really, in fact, sign off on all these payments. Do you not think you have a primary responsibility?
Yes, I have a primary responsibility.
Not a degree of responsibility, a primary responsibility.
Okay,
a degree of responsibility will suggest that you probably don't have too much control. Primary responsibility suggests you have maximum control. Do you agree you have maximum control?
Yes, I do.
Was it asserted here?
No.
Was it a failure as well, sir?
Limitation, but not a failure on the part of the CEO.
What do you mean by limitations?
Something should have been done. What happened is that the collections should have been deposited.
Yes.
And that's a limitation.
Now, were you in the position to know that this was existing, this issue? Were you in a position to be aware of it?
Before it was picked up by the auditors?
It has to be before, during, or after. At any given point in time, you served the council between 2019 to 2022 or 2023. Is that not correct?
Yes, 2023.
Now,
yes.
Something may have happened, which is okay. That your staff may do something and you will only know about it subsequently.
Yes.
That's why you have all these checks and balances. Is
yes.
that not the case?
Yeah.
Now, when you've learned about it, what did you do?
When I learned about it, you could see the other memo that was dispatched.
Yes.
We clearly said that there should not be any cash submission to any authority whatsoever, because this was
go ahead, sir.
Because this was meant to ensure to prevent reoccurrence.
Yes. That's brilliant. That's perfect. But we still need to account for this money.
I agree.
But what did you account for this money?
We can still search for the vouchers.
No. As we are sitting now here, were you able to solve this problem? This is in 2020,
no,
audit in 2020?
No, we were not able to.
Was that a failure on your side?
Yes.
Good. Now, you have other issues as well on page, I believe, 2022. Page, sorry, 22. 22. says it has to do with the sale of assets, with the auctions that took place or that happened during your tenure. Now, as a general question, how many times in your tenure as CEO did the Brikama Area Council conduct any auction or sales of goods?
Two auctions.
Two.
Yes.
The first one?
In 2020.
Second?
In 2021.
Now, were you given a report with respect to the first exercise, the first auction?
The auction committee did not submit any report. The only report we have is the report that was submitted by the finance manager at the time.
Why was that?
Well, we have asked for the committee through the chairperson to submit reports, and a report was not submitted. I take a further decision to instruct the police to investigate matters surrounding this particular auction.
Was that done?
Yes.
Do you have the investigation report?
A report was submitted, yes.
Can we have a copy of it?
I have it on my laptop, but I have submitted a copy to the investigators.
Investigators. Okay,
Yes.
please, we will need you to get us the copy, probably tomorrow or on Monday.
Thank you.
Now, when you bring that copy, we will discuss that one. How about the second one?
The second one was also conducted in 2021.
Okay.
A report was produced.
Okay. You also have a copy.
I have a copy of the report.
Okay, please make available that copy. Now, just as a way of information, what is contained in the audit report is that it says, and I will read, that during our review on the contract committee meeting minutes, it was mentioned in one of the meetings that the auction committee chairman, Mr. Ibrahim Sawane, reported to the contracts committee that $1,229,600 was realized during the auctions activity, in which an amount of $1,123,100 is deposited into council's account, and an outstanding balance of $103,500 was paid later, but with several consultations with the auction committee chairman for him to provide us with deposit slips of a set amounts incurred, but nothing was provided to the audit unit for verification up to the time of the writing this report. The chairman said the outstanding balance was entrusted with the finance manager, Mr. Lamin Suso. So the $1,229,600 is in limbo because the audit team cannot have any meaningful response from the said committee pertaining to the auction fund realized. Now, you had this information from the internal audit. Now we are just dealing with the findings of the internal auditor. This was known to you through the internal audit report.
Yes.
Now, what do you have to say about that?
Yes, the auction did happen.
Yes.
When we are dealing with this particular report, the audit team did not have access to the financial statements to indicate the deposits that were made by the finance manager, Mr. Lamin Suso. So fast forward to the retreat that we held in 2022, we were able to have the statements indicating deposits of the sum of $1 million in the name of Mr. Lamin Suso, which was a proceeds from this auction that was held in 2020.
So all these monies are accounted for?
Now, with regards to the balance, it was discussed, it was concluded that the balance was recovered through the courts, but it happens at that point in time, the prosecutor at the court had his contract ended, so therefore we could not judge records of the recovery of the balance of $103,500.
Can you account for all these monies? All these monies, can you account for it as the CEO?
The $1 million is deposited in guaranteed trust.
So we want you to give us, to take your time, make findings. You've said you have, probably you'll have all these reports, and you come back and give us all the details and the evidence of all these monies that were received and paid into the accounts of council. Is that possible? Can you do that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we'll give you time to do that.
Yeah.
How much time do you need?
I will need probably 3 days, 3 working days to get the records.
Madam Chairperson, the witnesses asked for 3 working days to be able to give us a proper detailed reporting of the auction that took place.
That is fair enough. So we'll expect to have this report on Monday, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, go ahead.
Yeah, the other proceeds, which is the second auction, is accounted for. The sum of 950,000 was deposited into our Access Bank account. That report is also available. I'll also provide that as well.
Yes. So when you come up with all those information, you will now deal with them one after the other. Is that not the case?
Yes, sir.
Now we have other issues as well. We just page 27. We have the issues of these market collectors, Mr. Jonga. I'm sure you can help us regarding the system of revenue collection when you were the CEO.
What is the headline of the query?
The posted transactions without cashier's receipt by collectors.
What page are you? Because
27. 27.
Posted transaction without cashier's receipts by collectors.
Yes. But again, let me just give you a brief overview of the problems we have seen with respect to the revenue collectors. Now, before that, let me just ask you, what was the system in place regarding revenue collection in 2019 when you came in as CEO, all the way to 2022, 2023 when you left?
When I came in, the collection was manual at the time, at the early stage.
Yes, what do you mean by manual?
At the final quarter. We were using GTRs for collections at the final quarter of 2019. Then in February 2020, the digital task revenue collection system was launched in partnership with 5C Gambia Limited.
5C?
Yes.
So was 5C before you, during Ma'am said, Jaro's period time, or you were the one who signed the contract with 5C?
No, my predecessor Ma'am said signed the contract with 5C.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So from 2020, then the revenue collections were done digitally.
From 2020?
From 2020.
But you were already in council as CEO back?
As CEO, yes. But not all the sources of revenue were collected digitally.
So please tell us.
So it was a transition. It started with trade license.
Now before that, what were the sources of your revenue? As far as you're concerned, when you came in 2019, 2020, what were the sources of revenue?
Trade license.
Trade license.
Daily market fees.
Yes.
Market rental.
Yes.
Market annual.
Yes.
We have royalties.
What royalties?
Car park, yes.
Yes.
And then we also have rates and tax.
Yes.
So of course this includes property tax and also freehold and lease.
Yes.
And hawkers.
And hawkers.
Yeah.
Now you have mentioned that some, not all, were collected digitally.
Yes.
So please tell us about that.
When we started, it was on a transition on a pilot base. So trade license collectors were trained first, and then market was also doing the collections. And what was outstanding was the rates and tax, because we wanted them to collect RAS with the GTRs before transitioning to the digital device.
Yes.
And then followed by the other revenue sources. But precisely trade license, value property started in earnest using the digital device.
So before collecting revenue,
Yes.
was there any assessment done for the year, the beginning of the year, in relation to for you to know how much you can expect to generate from revenue collection in a given year. Is that done?
Yes, assessments were conducted by the collectors.
The same collectors who were supposed to collect revenue are the ones who will conduct this assessment. Is that the case?
Yes, but there have been instances where, this issues was raised that someone who did the assessment will not be efficient or will not be a smart idea for the person to do the collection.
That's not a smart. I like your choice of words. Not a smart idea. It's just against the rules and the regulations. That's just the bottom line. That the idea that the same person doing the assessment will be the same person doing the collection is just prohibited by law. Do you know that?
What I know in the manual.
First answer my question whether you know that or not.
No, I did not. What I know in the manual is that the staff who has an accounting responsibility,
yes,
should not be involved in the collections of revenue. That I know.
What does that mean?
Well, you could help give me your interpretation, but the meaning here is that.
Yes.
Example, you have the accounts clerk.
Yes.
Who is the accounting staff.
Yes.
You don't expect that person to be collecting revenue.
Okay.
Yes. So because clearly the Director of Finance is instructed to ensure that there's a segregation of duties.
What do you think? Do you think it's proper for the same person who is doing the assessment in a given area to conduct revenue? Do you think that is really proper?
As a CEO, I think it's not proper,
yes,
and I have raised these issues on several occasions. But
because you knew it's wrong.
Yeah, but the counter argument will be.
No, you knew it was wrong at the time.
Yes, it is.
You were aware that it was contrary to the financial manual at the time. That's why you had to make that argument.
No. I did not knew that it is contrary to the financial manual.
Yes.
I know it was not a smart idea.
Yes.
At the time.
Yes.
Because there could be a possible cases of collusion.
Yes.
These are the basis of my objections.
Yes. But then what happened? Why was your objection? Where did you place that objection, and why was it overruled?
Because others will have the opinion,
yes,
that the person who did the assessment,
yes,
will be in a better position to know the locations of these businesses that are to be collected. So if you allow an individual who has not done the assessment,
yes,
you might run into an issue of under collections.
You might run into.
Yes.
Now my issue is, the law says, for example, if you talk to page 26 of the financial manual, where you have control of revenue, 406, page 25, it tells you how revenue should be controlled, but it says on paragraph 10, just go to paragraph 10, you will see what I'm talking about. If you're there, please tell me.
Page 25, yes.
Yes. You will see where it says on 26, paragraph 10. Are you there?
Can you please read that?
Where it says the chief executive officer is responsible for ensuring that all revenue due to council is promptly collected and brought to account. He is not absolved from the responsibility by the duties being assigned to the financial staff. So the financial staff to the financial director were told clearly by the law that the same individual collecting revenue cannot also assess the revenue. That doesn't make sense.
Maybe you could direct me to that section.
Yes, so I will find it out, and then I will refer you to the necessary section.
Thank you.
All right. But was it in a meeting that you made your objection?
Yes, but I do not think there will be records of the minutes.
No, first was it in a meeting that you had that objection?
Yes.
What kind of meeting was that?
At the level of the senior management and also at the level of the finance subcommittee meetings.
Who were present in the senior management meeting?
The heads of departments are present at the senior management meetings.
The heads of departments?
Head of departments, yes.
So why wouldn't there be any minutes?
There could be a minute for these discussions.
Yes.
Yes.
But do you have the minute? Will there be minutes of you raising this issue?
Yes, we will, like I suggested earlier on,
Yes.
I'll search for the minutes of the senior management meetings from November 2019 to January 2023
Right.
and provide.
We will wait for that. Yes. So when we come back, I will refer you to the section that talks about the issue of revenue assessment, and that the same person cannot do the collection when you are collecting the assessment as well. Now, the revenue collectors we have interviewed, it's very clear that there are so many instances wherein the monies that were collected were not deposited into the council's bank account. Do you know why that is the case?
Clearly, there are procedures that are in place for the revenue collectors
Yes.
to adhere to.
What are these procedures?
Once you collect revenue, you are required first, because the submission days are on Thursdays, every Thursday, so you are required to go to the bank and deposit the amount that you have collected.
Yes.
Then you proceed to the council with a copy of your deposit slips and go to the internal auditor.
Yes.
When you are certified by the internal auditor, then you proceed to the principal cashier.
Yes.
To be receipted. So most often this is not done. I followed the commission. I heard about the revelations about the suppression.
No, but are you saying you only heard about this during the commission?
Yes, the scale of suppression of revenue, because most of the time the revelations that were revealed here, these collectors will be signed off by the internal auditor.
Yes.
To the payroll cashier.
Yes.
They will come with a shortage.
Yes.
There's never an instant that a report is been forwarded to my office about these shortages. What I do receive in my office
Yes.
is the weekly submission records of the collectors who did not come to submit. But there is never an instant the unit have produced a report to indicate that these collectors have been coming, suppressing revenue, collecting $500 is example, and submitting less than that. We have heard that they have been signed off. There are also instances where collectors were issued with a GTR receipt without producing deposit slips.
So you have heard that in the commission, you've watched the procedures, you've seen that it was happening at a very light scale.
Yes.
And you were surprised?
Yes. Disappointed.
Why? Disappointed?
Yeah.
With
the internal controls.
What are the internal controls you are disappointed with?
The internal controls were the fact that if a collector comes to submit revenue,
yes,
you must produce a copy of the deposit slips.
Yes.
So you cannot entertain a collector who comes for submission
Yes.
without the deposit slips.
Okay.
That is the failure on the first instant, because if they should go to the bank, they have not gone to the bank, and then they walk up to the internal audit unit.
Yes.
And then you certify them and sign them off.
Yes.
And then they go to the principal cashier and got receipted with the GTR.
Yes.
So that's where the failure is, because I have indicated in my memo that there should be constant monitoring
Right.
of the collections.
Right.
And then the internal auditor is expected to conduct spot checks.
Right.
The heads of units are expected to provide performance reports of
Yes.
each individual collector
Yes.
on monthly basis.
Was that done?
No.
You don't have that. So you only issue out directives, but you don't have results. They are not being enforced.
Yes.
Who do you blame?
I could take responsibility.
Mr. Jonga, just say I take responsibility.
No, let me come in.
No. We exhaust that part. We move on. You raised an issue. I asked you, who do you blame? You are saying I could take responsibility. Now we want it just to be clear. If you think someone else should take responsibility, just tell the commission I blame XYZ and we'll discuss it.
No, Council. I think you have to allow me to exhaust that point.
I always do that.
I said I take responsibility, but there are instances, example, where the CEOs are delegated to appoint staffs and discipline staffs.
Yes.
On certain grades.
Yes.
At that point in time, which was grade 5.
Yes.
Then fast forward to 2022, 2023, the grades were reduced to grade 3.
Yes.
So any staff who is not at that grade,
yes,
cannot be disciplined by the CEO.
How?
So if you want to put that responsibility,
how does that affect? How I've always allowed you to explain your story, but how does that affect your role as CEO? Because my understanding is that you are not expected to solve all problems, to run a very perfect area council 100%, 110%. No.
Yes.
You are expected to account. That is why you are the chief executive officer. What we are saying is, even if you don't have the power to discipline, assuming, and that's not in fact the case, because it's not as simple as that you can highlight, recommend for disciplinary actions and so on and so forth, report to the authority. But let's leave that for now, we'll get to that. My point is accountability. X, Y, Z, there are reports that revenues have been suppressed. Can you account for it? What have you done? You need to account for it. You need to bring these things out and account for it and take steps that will show that you are really trying to address the situation.
Yeah. Of course, there are results. But what I'm trying to put across is, if you have limitations on